Greetings. In this episode, we're going to talk about the early colonies of the British in North America. So the first of their colonies was known as Roanoke, and it was established in 1585. It was financed by Sir Walter Raleigh. But here's the problem. It's along the Chesapeake River, and with time, it just disappears completely off the face of the earth. Nobody knows really for certain what happens. When new settlers come to the area, the only thing they find is the word Croatoan carved into a tree. So people aren't sure if they died of disease, if Native Americans attacked them. Nobody knows quite for certain. They could have starved to death. Nobody knows. With time, though, the British are going to establish another type of colonies, and they're going to be called joint stock companies. People are going to invest in colonies as a way to make a profit. So with a joint stock company, you own a little piece of the company, some shares of stock, and these companies had charters or written contracts with the King of England to set up colonies. For example, it's something that we're kicking around now with space. So the idea of Elon Musk and SpaceX wanting to colonize Mars, they are a private company. You can invest in them. You can have a piece of that company and a piece of that colony on Mars in hopes of making a profit in the end. So this first joint stock company that starts a colony is going to be Jamestown, and it's England's first real permanent colony. It begins in 1607 along the Chesapeake River again, and it's going to be funded through the Virginia Company of London. Now, it's not going to go so well in the beginning. Life in the colony was very difficult. First of all, they pick an area that's kind of swampy along the river. There's no clean water. They're going to get sick from drinking dirty water. A lot of diseases kill a lot of the people. Here's the big kicker, though. They thought they were the Spanish. They thought they were going to find gold. So there are tons of settlers who are out looking for gold instead of growing food. They're going to depend on Native Americans at first for those food, but then they're going to fight with the Native Americans. In addition, the climate isn't the greatest. It's going to have a hot summer and a very cold winter. With time, though, they're going to get new leadership in Jamestown, and John Smith becomes the leader of the colony in 1608, and he's actually going to force people to work. He's going to force them to build. He's going to force them to plant, and they're instead of being a man of leisure and just looking for gold, they're actually going to have to work for their keep. What really is going to save the colony is tobacco. It becomes the cash crop of Virginia. And it's going to bring more and more settlers to the colony. This is where they're going to become wealthy. The tobacco is grown in Virginia and then shipped back to Europe. Most of the labor on the tobacco plantations at first is coming from indentured servants. These are people that sold their labor in order to pay for their passage to the new colony. So they didn't have a lot of money, so they're promising their work as a way to come to the new world. With time, though, more and more people are going to settle, and at the beginning, the governor is going to work for the Virginia Company. More and more settlers mean a demand for democracy, a demand for a say. And the first representative assembly in the colonies is going to happen here in Virginia. It's going to be called the House of Burgesses, and it's important you remember this because this is the first form of democracy in the colonies. There's also going to be conflicts, though, and most of that is going to be over the land itself. At first, Native Americans are going to help the colonists, but as more and more of them come and the colony gets bigger and bigger and the settlements get bigger and bigger, there's going to be fighting over the land. The Native Americans catch on pretty quick that the colonists aren't going back to Europe and that they're going to demand more and more and more from them and of the land. This is going to lead to warfare and Bacon's Rebellion. Indentured servants who worked off their debt were left with land of the west of the colony. But this is also land that is Native American land. So a leader of the former indentured servants, Nathaniel Bacon, wants to go to war with the Native Americans to capture more land for these former indentured servants. The governor of the colony says, oh, heck no. So Bacon rebels along with the former indentured servants, and they burn Jamestown to the ground in protest. Of course, Jamestown is going to be rebuilt, and it's going to lead to more quarrels along those western edges of the colony as it grows with Native Americans. Okay, that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.